Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
If you're gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, my amazing listener. Welcome to episode 281 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, in every episode for lending me your ears today. I know there are lots of choices out there, not only of podcasts to listen to, but things to be doing right now. So I really do appreciate you making my podcast one of them. Now, just before we get started, a couple of little things. So first of all, the show notes for this episode can be found on my website at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/281. And I say that every week because sometimes I talk about links or I talk about a long list of things, and you might think, oh, Jen, I'm driving or I'm cooking dinner or I'm running or walking. I don't have time for that. So if you go to the show notes, you'll find all the stuff there. That's why I mention it every single week. Second thing is, did you get a chance to listen to last week's episode? So last week I answered some questions from my community all around lead magnets. So there was 3 questions that I hear over and over again, and I'd recently done a podcast about lead generation, and one of the ideas of lead generation was lead magnets. So the questions came from my community out of that episode. But if you haven't listened to last week's, head back there when you finish here and go and listen to episode 280, all around lead magnets. Now, I know it's February, but for many people that are in my world, but also in my online world, because I'm hearing this quite a lot, it might be February, but it still feels like January, because it feels like the first month that we can get stuff done. The kids are back at school, life is returning to normal, and I use that in inverted commas. So it's kind of like we still need to be thinking about the year almost like it's January. Now, personally, I have been on the bandwagon. I don't have children at school anymore. So school holidays don't really mean much to me, but lots of my clients have been, distracted by children and trying to run their business and also spend time with their children. So that's why perhaps for many of us, it feels like the first month of the year. But because of that, I'm still talking about lead generation. I feel that, if we don't have customers, we don't have clients, if we don't get leads, then we really have no business at all. No matter what business you're in, you need clients and customers. So that's why I'm spending so much time at the start of this year talking about lead generation. And way too many small business owners spend way too much time chasing the next sale on social media without a real plan how they're going to nurture that next lead into a sale, or perhaps even another sale and another sale. How are you going to create a community with these people rather than just always be chasing the next sale? Now, if you've been in my world for a little while, you may know that for me, the number one reason why you should be on social media is to get people off social media, to get them onto your list so you can nurture them and somewhat have a certain amount of control around the content that they see, which then hopefully will lead them to parting with their money and giving you a sale. It's really hard on social media to be controlling what content they see. Facebook groups make it a little bit easier. Instagram groups make it a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, we can't control that. We've got a little bit more control with a lot more control with our email, as long as we produce really good emails that they want to open after all. So, given that we want to get people from social media onto our email list, we need some tools to do so. And one of those tools is what we're talking about today is a landing page. And a landing page is what it says on the box. It is different to a web page. So, a normal web page is really quite different to a landing page. A landing page has just one job. The only job it has is to get the lead to leave their email address or possibly mobile number if you're doing SMS marketing as well. But that's its only job. It's not the job of the landing page to get you to listen to a podcast or to get your lead to read your blog. It's not it's not there to get them to see all the ways that they can work with you or to buy your product. The only job the landing page has and should have is to get the lead. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you, because when you look at a normal website page, it's often there's lots of distractions. There's, click here for the home, go and listen to the podcast, read the blog. Here's all my products and services you can buy. A landing page doesn't have that. So what does a landing page have? Well, let me go through the elements with you right now. So for me, it's really important that the landing page has the same graphic or the same picture you use to get the lead there. So the picture that you used on social media, you need to use on your landing page. This creates a real familiarity to it. It creates that peace of mind for the new lead that they know, oh, I've clicked a link and I've landed exactly where they promised I would land because I can see the correlation of the two pictures. Now, the pictures might not be exactly the same because you might be using different pictures, but it's kind of got to be the same. Maybe the same colors. Maybe it's a picture of you. Maybe it's a picture of, what it is that the lead magnet that they're actually downloading. So it needs to be familiar for them. You need this person to feel relaxed when they've clicked your link, because we all know how cautious we are of clicking links. We need to make them feel relaxed and at peace, and they are like, yep, this is where I was supposed to go. I can tell because I can tell that a very similar or the same graphic has been used. On the landing page, there should be some dot points or some text that basically coaches the conversion. So convinces them that they definitely need X. X is whatever you brought them there to get. So a new lead magnet, a new set of videos to watch, a cover, I don't know, a whole heap of social media posts that you're giving away, a sample, whatever that is. But you need to coach that conversion. So a couple of little dot points on why it's so important that they put their name and their email address below and get this thing. You're coaching the conversion. If you've got some testimonials, then they are really good to put on a landing page as well. So a couple of testimonials to say, hey, you're in good company. Other people wanted this and they've got great things to say about it, just like Fred and Jane. Put a couple of testimonials on there. If you don't have testimonials, don't stress. When you do, come back to the landing page and put a couple of testimonials in there. These could be screenshots of something that someone has written on social media or a screenshot of an email that someone has sent to you. It doesn't need to be a perfect, beautiful testimonial graphic. It can be scrappy because then it looks more authentic. And of course, the last thing that it needs is a box where they can fill in their details to actually get the lead. So email is obviously essential. We want to get their email address. And then, of course, it's up to you after that. So we want the lead's email address because we're talking email marketing. Again, if you're doing SMS marketing, you clearly want their mobile phone number. So statistically, they tell us that we lose 9% of our conversions for every piece of data we request. So we've requested their email address. If we ask for their first name, 9% less will fill that box in, as in any of the boxes in. They will click out and go, no, I'm not comfortable to give you that. First name, last name, and email address, you'll lose another 18% of people because you've asked for 3 pieces of data, etc., etc. So you will lose people the more data you want to collect from them. Like if you wanted to collect their date of birth and their mobile number and their actual physical address of where they live, less and less people will actually fill that out and get whatever it was that they came for. But don't let that hold you back, because you need to make a strategic decision here. What's the data worth to you? Is it worth losing 9% of the people or 18% of the people? For me, I need people's first name, because my copy, my marketing is written to a person, human to human marketing. It's really important that I practice what I preach, and it's really important that someone who is on my email list feels like I'm talking to them. So I need their first name. I'm prepared to sacrifice 9% of the people in order to get that information, because it's important to my marketing strategy. Now, I can't actually force people to give me their first name. Of course, they need to fill in the box, but they can put whatever they want in the box. And I most certainly have had people come onto my email marketing list where they've put like just a single letter, or they've put the word hello, or they've put something really quite, well, stupid, funny, odd, I don't know, because you can't go any further until you filled out that first name box. But the majority of people, 98% of people, do actually put their first name in there. That's important for my strategy. What's important for your strategy? You will lose people, but what's it worth to you? So bizarrely, I'm going to interrupt my own podcast here because I want to talk about my 4-week email marketing masterclass, which is now 5 weeks. It's open for enrollments now, but there's been some changes. The biggest change, of course, is that it's now a 5-week program, not a 4. Why is it increased by a week? Well, because that's the feedback I got last year when I ran it 2 or 3 times, was it would be really good if we had a 5th week at the end just to do stuff with you, Jen. So it's now a 5-week email marketing masterclass. We start on the 26th of February. It goes for 5 weeks until the 25th of March. The price is $750. Spots are limited, and if you need a payment plan, that's okay. Enroll now, let me know, and we can work on that payment plan so everything's paid for before we get to the 26th of February. To find out more about the email marketing masterclass, go to bit.ly/email masterclass with Jen, or of course, come to the show notes at all the W's, socialmediamarketing.com.au/281, and find all the links there. I really hope that you are going to invest in email marketing in 2024, because it is a really important email marketing strategy. Okay. All right. But back to this episode after that little interruption about my email marketing masterclass. So we have the elements of a landing page, and we know what it needs. It doesn't need much. It's pretty simple. No fuss, no distraction, just pure an intention to have I want your email address page is basically the way you need to think about it. So many business owners make their landing pages too busy and wonder why conversion is not what they expected. And this is often why, because people come to this landing page, but they're distracted by all the other stuff, and they don't get around to actually filling in the box and getting the thing that you offered them to. Another error, though, that many people make when it comes to landing pages is there's no thank you page. I come to your page, I fill out the form, then I get this piddly little message that I hardly notice saying, thanks for subscribing. Please don't do that. Please think about your customer journey, your customer's journey, and your conversion journey, and do a thank you page. Look, to be honest though, I have to tell you that I have a thank you page that I've designed, and I really just keep repurposing it over and over again. I change the wording. I might change a little bit of the design, but it's pretty much the same. I just go click, copy, change it, change all the bits that I need, and just use it again. It doesn't have to be grand. It's just useful to both you and the person who's subscribed to whatever it is that you offered to land next on a thank you page. On the thank you page, there should be a thank you message, obviously, showing your appreciation that they've joined your email list. There should also be really good reassurance that the thing, whatever that was that they just subscribed to, is on its way. And maybe just a gentle reminder to check their spam if they don't see it immediately. And a call to action. Yes, you need a call to action on a thank you page. Think about your marketing strategies. Think about your marketing strategy strategically and think, what do I want them to do next? They've signed up, they've got to the thank you page. Don't leave them hanging. What do you want them to do next? What's the next logical step that they should take to become, I don't know, a customer of yours or come closer into your world or further into your world? Some ideas of calls to action on your thank you page, could be, well, for me, it's often join my Facebook group, my like-minded business owners Facebook group. That's the next logical step. If I can get them in my world a little bit closer, then that is what I want them to do. Otherwise, it could be another lead magnet that kind of relates to the one that they've wanted. So, it's the same ideal client, but maybe offer them another lead magnet they could sign up for. Maybe it's a tiny offer. Maybe you could make a sale off the back of a thank you page. It's okay to make a sale or an upsell or a cross sell on a thank you page. When I say tiny offer, it's probably something not very expensive because they're more than likely a cold to warm lead here. And what's not expensive really depends on your offering and your ideal client. So for some people, it could be a $7 offer, and that's not very expensive. And other people, it could be a $497 offer, and that's not very expensive for their ideal client. So what you've got to do is just work out what's the next logical step for your lead. So that's it. That's what you need to do, and that's what's meant by the term landing page. A simple page set up for conversion, not confusion or distraction. You may have heard landing pages called other things, like squeeze pages or lead capture pages, but the elements of the page should be the same. They're kind of same, depending on what marketer you listen to or speak to as to what they call this page. I call it a landing page. Many people call it a squeeze page or a lead capture page. Now, if you're curious about all this landing page stuff, I've wet your whistle, I've created curiosity, then head to my website, socialmediamarketing.com.au, and go to the freebies section and download one or two of the freebies and see the process in work. See it working right there in front of your eyes. See the landing page, see the call to action, see what's on the landing page. Sometimes there's no better way to learn than see what other people are doing, and I'm happy to be your dummy and show you exactly what I'm talking about when I do these sorts of podcasts or these sorts of learnings. All right, that's it. That's all I'm going to do today is talking as far as talking about landing pages go. But if you want to know more about my 5-week, not 4-week, email marketing masterclass, then head to bit.ly/email masterclass with Jen. If you've got any questions, sing out. Otherwise, again, it's 5 weeks, starts on the 26th of February, and I'm super happy to do a payment plan if anyone needs that. And we can definitely get that organized. Remember, you need to ask for help to get help, especially in small business. I'd love to hear from you in my Like-Minded Business Owners Facebook group. If you've got a lead magnet, then go in there and share it with everyone on the day that you can do promotion, because you just never know where your next lead is going to come from. But that is it for episode 281. If you loved this episode and found it valuable, please take 30 seconds out of your day and leave me a rating and review wherever you are listening to this. I would really appreciate that. And of course, I will see you next week on the podcast for episode 282. In the meantime, if we are not on social, please come and find me. I'm on just about any of the platforms and would really love to make contact and say hello to you and cheer you on and listen to your content just like you listen to my content every single week. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peep, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell I can feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.